Zimbabwe, Bella Africa, Mama Africa, Zira Babylon, I cannot forget you. Zimbabwe, Bella Africa, Mama Africa, Zira Babylon.
Welcome to Nollywood Radio France. Your host is Cyprian Johnson. This program has been brought to you by Nollywood Croissants Magazine. Additional support is provided by our partner Uba-Odi Omondiwe, Goodwill Ambassador, Nollywood actress, singer, songwriter, humanitarian and victim advocate. Please stay tuned.
Cyprian Johnson. Nollywood Radio. It's good, huh? I like it.
I had a great conversation with Obi Emelonye, the producer of Last Flight to Abuja and the Mirror Boy in Paris during the Nollywood Week Paris Festival. Before the interview, we started to crack jokes on the Owerri Igbo, a language spoken by people from Owerri in the eastern part of Nigeria. Obi is such a person that can keep you laughing for hours. He then looked at me and said, "Daddy," which means senior. Wow, you look like one of those Francophone immigrants. I smiled, I just laughed. And the way he said it, it was so funny and jovial that I can't help bursting into laughter. I looked like a clown that very day. But when we started the interview on his career as a filmmaker, I discovered that I was not only talking to a genius with many skills, a qualified lawyer, a producer, a writer, director, editor of movies, and a real businessman. And this is the way he sees himself during this exclusive interview.
The first question is, from a lawyer to a filmmaker, where do you get this energy?
I think a friend of mine says that who we are, whatever we are, goes into everything we do. Everything we are goes into everything we do. I think my journey as a human being has helped me as a filmmaker, and that journey started academically as a theater artist. I studied theater arts at University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and then I went to London, and I realized that you could not make a living as a theater artist starting out in London. I was pragmatic, so I studied law as an alternative career that I felt would give me the profile that was transferable and also allow me the time to be able to practice my craft while I made a good living for my family. So law provided all of those things until it got to the stage where I felt, after juggling the two careers, I felt the time was right to bite the bullet and drop law and concentrate on films. I did that in 2007, and it's taken me a while to get going, but I think it's one of the best decisions I've made as a human being.
Then we rushed into the cinema hall to watch his movie, Last Flight to Abuja. After the screening of this movie at the Alicon Theatre in Paris, Obi had an interesting interaction with the Paris audience.
Non.
Alors, I just wanted to say thank you. You've been a wonderful audience who laughed at the right places and kept quiet at the right places. And laughed at the wrong things, as you always say. Thank you very much for being such a wonderful audience. Je veux vous remercier pour avoir été un public très bon, parce que vous avez ri aux bons endroits, vous êtes resté calme aux bons endroits. Et parfois vous avez ri aussi aux mauvais endroits, mais c'est pas grave, ça fait partie du jeu. Je voulais vous remercier, vous avez été un très beau public.
Alors, est-ce qu'il y a des questions, des commentaires, des observations, des déclarations peut-être? Tout ce que vous voulez, c'est maintenant ou jamais. Obi n'habite pas à Paris, donc vous ne le voyez pas tous les jours. N'hésitez pas à profiter. Thank you. Thank you. Quelque chose d'un peu plus élaboré peut-être? Oh, okay.
There is a suit for the next, chapter 1 and chapter 2. Or do you want to make another one?
La personne ici nous demande s'il y aura une suite à ce film, s'il y aura un 2, un 3.
We've been told in Nollywood not to do part 1, part 2, part 3. So this is how the film. If I try other films and it didn't work, I will come back and make a part 2.
Alors il a dit qu'à Nollywood, il y a un peu trop de part 2, part 3, un peu trop de part 2. Il y a un peu trop de suite, donc là c'est juste ça. Maintenant, s'il fait un autre film, ça ne marche pas, mais il reviendra un peu plus. D'autres questions? Oui.
Dans le milieu d'aviation.
There hasn't been any formal representation from the Minister of Aviation or anybody in the aviation industry. They know about it. They've actually requisitioned a copy of the film. They've watched it. They haven't arrested me yet. And they haven't told me anything. But I managed to speak to a few people in aviation that went to see the film in the cinema in Nigeria. And they were telling me that first there is no control tower in Lagos. It was all slight technical things that they were complaining about. Nothing major. And some people were saying that I should be arrested because some of the things that I mentioned in the film actually happened a few days before our premiere. But I'm still standing. So.
Alors, il n'y a pas eu en fait de réaction officielle de la part du ministère de l'aviation ou toutes ces autorités-là de transport plutôt. Mais il a reçu quand même des demandes de leur part. Premièrement, ils ont souhaité voir le film et ils ont pu le voir. Ils ont souhaité aussi lui parler, ils ont communiqué avec lui et ils ont noté quelques détails techniques comme le fait que dans le film il y a une tour de contrôle alors qu'en fait il n'y en a pas vraiment à l'aéroport ou des choses comme ça, mais rien de particulier. Et on a également dit qu'il devrait peut-être être arrêté parce que certaines choses qu'il a montrées dans le film se sont en fait passées quelques jours avant l'avant-première de son film.
But something I need to say is that the National Emergency Management Agency, which is the Nigerian agency in charge of emergencies when there are crashes or when there are floods and stuff like that, were part of the film. The people who did the rescue simulation were actually people from the National Emergency Management Agency. So they were very supportive, and that's the only government involvement in the film, I would say.
Alors en même temps, il y a un autre élément qui est important, c'est que les agences qui sont en charge de la prise en charge en fait des urgences aériennes comme ça, ils ont vraiment participé au film. Et la scène qui est une simulation de situation de catastrophe a été faite en fait avec des gens qui travaillent vraiment, dont c'est vraiment le travail de faire ça. Donc dans ce domaine-là, on peut dire qu'ils ont en fait participé, ils ont été impliqués dans ce film.
Et justement, comme c'était un fait réel, est-ce que le film a eu du succès
What has been the success? How do we expect success in Nigeria?
Like I said before the film started, we had this unfortunate event 5 days before our London premiere. So in a way, it destroyed our London release. We released the film in London. It was too close to the crash, and a lot of people were put off by that. But a few months afterwards, the film opened in Nigeria. And was received very well. I think the reaction was that this film tries to highlight some of the problems that ultimately gave birth to the crash. So it is in the interest of the people that died that this film comes out, and a lot of people supported it. And it ended up becoming the highest grossing film in Nigerian cinema of any indigenous film in 2012.
Donc c'est un film qui a plutôt très bien marché. Mais même si au départ, en fait, il avait choisi de le sortir à Londres en premier. Et donc, avant cette sortie, donc 5 jours avant, il y a eu la catastrophe, et du coup, beaucoup de gens ont été un petit peu comment dire, refroidis par les événements, effectivement, par les événements réels, et n'ont pas voulu participer à ça. Mais l'événement a quand même eu lieu, et c'est surtout quelques mois plus tard, quand ça s'est passé à Lagos, quand le film a été sorti dans les salles à Lagos, que là la réception a été vraiment positive. Et après, c'est devenu en fait le film qui a fait en 2012 le meilleur chiffre au box-office dans les salles du Nigeria.
Did you write it as we see it, or did you do it in the festival?
I wrote it near enough as you see it, and I'm not ashamed to say that I watched a film called Vantage Point with Spreaker in it, and I liked the storytelling technique, and I tried to adapt that. And I usually do the first cut of my films. I do the first edit, and then my editor will now come in. So it's, you know, if there's anything wrong, please shoot me. If there's an award to be collected, bring it here.
Donc la question c'était de savoir si ça avait été écrit dans la forme qu'on le voit, ou s'il y avait eu des changements après montage. Et il a dit que ça a été quasiment été écrit de cette manière-là. Mais ensuite, effectivement, il a regardé un film qui s'appelle Vantage Point avec Spreaker. Et ça l'a fait un petit peu changer certaines choses. Il a voulu utiliser un peu le style de narration qui était utilisé dans ce film-là. Mais voilà, il prend toute la responsabilité de ce film. Et s'il y a des récompenses qui doivent lui être attribuées, mais qu'elles viennent. Et si, dans le cas contraire, si on doit lui faire des reproches, allez-y aussi.
Est-ce qu'il a coûté cher à la réalisation?
I am an artist. I don't like talking about money, which is why I'm still broke. But I try to look at the film in this way, that in Nollywood, for a Nollywood film, it represents a huge budget, but in terms of what we try to achieve with it and the level of technical detail involved in it, it's the money that we use to make it would not pay a runner on a proper film. So it's relative. For Nollywood, it's a huge budget. Not the highest budget, but nowhere near the highest budget, but it's a considerable budget. But for the kind of film we made and what it cost us to make it, it's peanuts.
Cyprian Johnson. Nollywood Radio. It's good, huh? I like it.
You've been listening to Nollywood Radio France, supported by Nollywood Croissants Magazine and our partner Obi Emelonye. Keep checking on this website for new episodes of Nollywood Radio France. Like us on Facebook. You can also log in to our website www.nollywoodfrance.com.